That was the first time in all these episodes you made sure it was leveled.
No, that's not true. It's always be
Well,
level.
shit, sometimes that motherfucker be tilted.
But it's the way the table is, because the tables would make you think it's tilted. Mm-hmm. But the camera says that it's fucking level.
Mm-hmm. Only thing that saves us now is I put that little banner on there, so even when if it's off tilted now, it just looks flat because of that. That was the main reason why I created that, because I hated looking at that shit. Throwing me off looking at the table like
it's
that.
It's the table, bro. I'm telling you. Anywho.
Sorry, guys. You just see it on. You just caught us bickering like husband and husband.
Nah,
this is
tripping.
2024. We're progressive. And on that note, welcome back. Another episode of Verbal Gunplay podcast. It's your boy Danny De Niro, aka D Money.
This L double, the golden line, was good. Tired on a Sunday, but we in here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, it's been a while since we talked about current events. So, we're just going to we just jump out there at the top of the list and just talk about how we got a new president getting ready to get into the office.
Yeah. It's funny is because I think it was a couple of weeks before the election where I was like, Trump's going to win. I can just tell by the way people were reacting, what I was seeing online, people I was talking to, who was voting for who. I was like, yeah, Trump's going to win this. Mm-hmm. And I think it's funny because I think it was something we were going to talk about earlier, but I'll just talk about it now. I was like, a lot of black women was really upset. They had their eggs all in this basket for Kamala to win, and for Kamala not to win for them. My wife is a black woman, so I asked her about it. It felt like they had hope that America wasn't as sexist and patriarchal as they think, and that they would put in a woman president. Yeah, a black woman president. Throw up air quotes, black woman president. But I knew that wasn't going to happen. So talking to men out there, and because what I hate the narrative even before she lost, and they was like, "Oh, black men, y'all gonna lose us." This even before it even happened, they was blaming it on us, right? And I know just from men and stuff that I've talked to about it, there's definitely that element of men who just don't believe that a woman should be president or leader or whatever. There's that. But most dudes I talked to didn't have a problem with it. Their problem was this. Most dudes talk like, I would be fine with a woman president leader if I chose her, right? Meaning she's qualified, she ran, we chose her as our Democratic candidate, and she's up there. A lot of people felt like with Kamala, they didn't choose her. She just kind of got thrown in her face. I think I don't think she was set up to lose, but I don't think she was set up to win either. She only had like 100 days, 120 days, something like that to run all at the last minute. They did a lot. I think a lot of people from the Democratic Party, as we saw, so many people didn't vote, was like, I want to vote for Kamala and not against Trump. But so I'm just gonna not vote at all. And we saw that's what happened at the polls, and black women were especially upset about it.
Well, my opinion on it is I knew the election was over when he got shot and he stood up and took that infamous photo during I don't know if it was white power, I don't know if it was black power, but when he got up, fight, I said, wow, that's it. He just, that right there, he just won the election. Because here's the thing, a lot of the minorities, when they see stuff like that on the ignorant side, they go, that's some gangster nigga shit right there. That's the first thing they think of, or the first thing they say when they see that. I mean, I thought it was a cool photo opportunity for sure.
For him, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, in my opinion, that is what sealed the victory right there. And I agree with what you said about we didn't choose her. When they first started talking about Biden was stepping down, and then they had I think it was maybe 3 or 4 days, they was testing the waters with who was going to fill the shoes, and obviously Kamala just blew it out the water. I felt like if the Democrats wanted to win, they would have figured out some kind of way to get Michelle in there.
She don't want to do it.
I know. They would have to figure out that. with such a short notice, it would have to have been Michelle Obama. Otherwise, you're pretty much giving this to Trump. That is, in my opinion, if you want, because with such short notice, there was nobody else.
That they wasn't able to. Again, since we didn't go through the whole Democratic nominee process,
Yeah, it was only like 2 or 3 months.
People weren't able to like run on a platform and see what they were about or whatever. They picked someone internally. They would have had to pick someone that they thought people would get behind. And I think like you said, Michelle might have been it, but they thought it was Kamala. That's why they brought her out.
Kamala, you gonna get us canceled?
What is it?
It's Kamala.
Kamala?
You saying it like the wrestler? The wrestler Kamala? You saying it like the wrestler?
Kamala.
Yeah.
I put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
And here's another thing. The last few Democrat wins have been because of Barack. The last few Democrat wins.
Barack himself running, and then
Biden won
because
he was an extension of Barack. If he was never associated with Barack, he would not have beat Trump. Just like how Trump whooped Hillary's ass.
He did.
So, I mean, it's crazy. Like both his wins against women. Hey, that's one thing about Donald Trump. He on brand. Even in an office, he's still putting his hands on women.
Wow.
But yeah, I feel like that's the route that they should have went. But they fucked it up. They fumbled the bag. Like you cannot wait until the 11th hour to do a substitution out. Because here's the thing. Before this campaign, this 3-month campaign, before this 90-day invasion, shout out to myself. But before this, when's the last time you seen Kamala?
The last time I remember was when Barack talked about her. When they made a big deal because he said she was a good-looking woman or something way back in the day.
Right.
That was the last time. That was actually.
Well, I guess a better question is, when's the last time you seen her outside? Like, when's the last time you seen her active? When's the last time you seen her representing herself in the community? And
well, she's from California. We not in Cali. I think people in California probably heard of her and from her.
I'm talking about just in the cameras alone.
Yeah, but she hadn't gone up to that level. I mean, she was a VP too. I think a lot of people need to know what a vice president actually does, and it's honestly not much.
True,
comparatively.
But when Barack was in office, back when Biden was younger, I seen him outside. I seen Biden involved. I seen Biden involved with a lot of stuff, and you got to see Biden's family. You got to see those things. I guess what I'm getting at is the last time you seen Kamala getting personal was 4 years ago in the last campaign. When they jumped in the hood to get the black vote and all that. Then when they got the black vote, she disappeared.
She was definitely in Congress and whatnot, putting in work, putting in votes, doing her actual job.
Was
she out? I don't think she was supposed to be. She knew it. She wasn't supposed to be out campaigning and making herself be seen and all that. So it wasn't until this happened when we started to see her even more. But I just think the whole thing was set up for her to lose. And I was trying to tell my wife, don't take it so hard, because maybe if Kamala made it all the way through the Democratic Party process and was the nominee, she probably would have won. But it's because of the way everything went down, the odds were stacked against her.
You said. I mean, are you heavy into politics? Some of the runners. So you said Michelle wouldn't have did it if
she
you
didn't
could.
Want to.
Well, didn't want to or whatever. Who would you had suggested other than Kamala?
I don't think there really was anybody, because another thing about the Kamala Harris thing that I heard a lot of people didn't like. Kamala, my bad, Harris.
I wasn't going to correct you. I'm like, let him just go.
Was that a couple of things, right? So let's address them.
Okay.
Number one, a lot of people on the right, especially, will call her what they like to coin now DEI hire. Was that diversity, equity, and inclusion? And in this case, they actually can make that case because before she was a VP, Biden said, "I'm going to make a woman my VP." Right, and when you do that, it's almost like I want to do that, and I'll just pick whoever's the most qualified of that category. And you know how Americans are. We always say we want the best person to do it, not just a person who is, a woman, just pick somebody who just is a woman or just is black. That's how they do that shit, right?
Yeah.
So they didn't like that because they felt like, oh, she must not be qualified, which she is, but the way he's said it before he actually came to her, now if he had not publicly said, I promise to do that, and then he just wound up doing that, the argument could be made that he based that off of her qualifications. But it was a woman. She's a multicultural woman. It's like almost everything's like perfect for them to run that kind of thing. And then there's the black thing, right? So let's be honest, a lot of black people are gatekeepers when it comes to black. And when they say black, we mean black American, not like black as in from Africa or the UK or Jamaican or whatever. And that's what it is. Her father, I think, was like Jamaican and her mom was like Indian, right? So they're saying, oh, she's black now. When do we know?
Is her father alive?
I don't know.
Because and that's another thing. Throughout this whole campaign, I've never seen her father.
Yeah, and then you people. I think a lot of times too, people when you want to disqualify a person, you'll find things to disqualify them on. So you disqualify her because she's not really black. You disqualify her because she's not married to a black dude. And being black, we're kind of big on that right now. So they had a lot of reasons to come up with to disqualify her.
So from what I'm hearing is there was a lot of flaws in her running. And she didn't do anything to go against it head on.
She didn't have time to overcome and make arguments or talk about or come with a different kind of thing about any of those things, right? They went with the angle and they just kind of ran with it. And it really was like, hey, if you're for, women's rights and women to have autonomy over their body, if you're for the poor, all these things, and you vote for me. If not, then you vote for him kind of shit. And I think a lot of people were a little put off by that campaign, but I think it did work for the most part. But there's a good segment of people, as we saw from the vote, that just straight up didn't vote. Like just straight up, like I'm not going to vote for her, but I'm not going to vote like specifically. I'm not going to vote for Trump either. So I'm just not going to vote. And that's really what happened. When you pull up the numbers, Trump got about the same amount of votes he got the last time he ran.
Yeah,
it's just the Democratic Party was short. The numbers keep jumping between 8 million and 20 million people, but a significant amount of people didn't vote on the Democratic side. And if I had to guess, that's what it was. They didn't want to vote for her or Trump. They just abstained this time. And that was on the either independent or Democratic side. People were just like, we'll wait till the next run because of the flawed way in which this whole thing was done. I mean, they kind of should have, to me, I think they should have just let Biden take this L and give Kamala did I say it right? Kamala? Yeah. The ability to run a full, healthy campaign the next time. But I think there were some things, timing is part of it.
I'll tell you right now, she won't be running at the next one. We've seen the last of her.
No, I think she could run. She could run.
She could. I'm telling you, she won't be a primary. She won't be a primary.
Will she win the primary is, I guess, a question because she can run. We don't know that.
She won't. We could do a 4-year wager right now on $20. She ain't no way she win in the primary.
Well, some other people in the next 4 years on the Democratic side are going to have to step up and make a name for themselves because we don't really have anybody else that your average person can.
Well, I mean, they're talking about he's going to go in there and he's going to change it up to where you could do more than 2 terms.
That's all talk, bro. He ain't going to do all that shit.
He could. He's the president.
Not really.
You don't think he could do it?
That's not how that works.
Yeah, but he put the people in power that can make that change.
Yeah, but you got the American people rebelling against you. You can't really Trump. That's one thing I say. Trump will get up there and say whatever the fuck, but you got to really know how the process works to know what people can and can't do.
Okay,
right. So he can't just go in there and just say I'm not going out of office.
Let's entertain it.
He'd have to hold office with a military coup or something. And there's separate pieces of the military. Everything is separate. They wouldn't. They just wouldn't do that. Not for him.
Well, they ain't doing it for him. Remember, his argument is...
I mean, it's possible in the same way that anything is possible, right? But
anything is possible.
But how likely is that? That's very, very, very unlikely, man. And like people are like genuinely scared about their health and well-being for various reasons. I definitely understand it on the women's side. I just don't think, and I think a lot of people think the same way. I know his own supporters think that. They like some things about him, but choose not to believe all the other crazy rhetoric that they actually do you like don't like okay, I'm definitely for abortion, but for like banning abortion, right? But I'm also don't like that he's talking about shipping out the Mexicans. But they say I don't think he's really going to ship out the Mexicans, so I'll ignore that and believe this. That's what a lot of people are doing. They're taking, because he says everything, so they take a piece of what he said that they do like and ignore all the other shit, so they can vote for him. That
sucks. I ain't gonna be able to get my lawn mowed for $50 no more.
They're not finna get rid of the Mexicans. That's all talk. If they really want, look, man, here's one thing y'all motherfuckers need to realize: if they really wanted to get rid of the Mexicans and shit and secure the border, they could. There's nothing stopping them from doing that now. It never has. They don't want to. They make too much money. There's too many industries that make whole background. Like for real, like when I was a home inspector, man, I've been in whole neighborhoods being built up by nothing but illegals.
Yeah.
Who ain't nobody coming in and gonna fucking wire your house or build your house up for fucking $20 a day. Ain't nobody gonna do that shit. Y'all gonna get out there and pick your own strawberries and shit, but grab your own fucking almonds and all that bullshit. You're not finna do none of that shit, bro. And we had this happen a few years ago when they actually tried to take the Mexicans out. Remember when that whole South Park was like, they took your job type shit. Yeah. They actually did take the Mexicans out. They brought some people from those places who used to work in automotive and mining and shit over there. The motherfuckers lasted a week maybe. That work is too hard. It's too hard. I can't do it. They're not finna do that shit, bro. And if they wanted to, they could have already. It's all talk. It's all talk. And even when they were talking about the taxes, how your average person would say, "Oh, illegals don't pay into any taxes." If you actually know how systems work, then you do know. And the number came out last year was like $96 billion in taxes collected from illegals, because you can still do it. And that's just the ones we know about. We can't even quantify how much sales tax they pay when they go out and buy shit. Bro, I've been to stores sometimes. I was in freaking a big name athletic store that has like guns and barbecue shit and all that other kind of shit. And there's a couple of Hispanic dudes in there that definitely was, illegals, pulling out big wads of cash, buying shit. There's sales tax on all that shit. They collected money off these fools, and America's making tons of money off of them.
Yeah.
Besides the labor and them being able to make things quote unquote affordable with their cheaper labor. They're not really trying to, if they wanted to do that, it would shut down entire industries, and they know it. They've been known it. They ain't never going to get rid of these people. They don't want to get rid of these people. They just talking to your dumb ass to make you think that's something they actually want to do. But really think about it, people, if you're listening. They never really say why we somehow can't secure the border. We always could. We just don't, on purpose. Because of money. Everything's because of money. It's always money. If you don't know why something happening, money.
Yeah, it's like my boy James says, follow the money.
Yeah.
Follow the money. But for entertainment purposes.
Okay.
This guy gets all logical. It sucks all the fun out of the podcast. Pause. Let's say he does. I'm going back to the other thing I said with let's say he removes the 2-term ban, right? Mm-hmm. Clearly, he won easily, and depending on how these next 4 years go, he might be able to win again. Who do you think could go in there to dethrone him? Who do you think, and who would you want?
Well, I mean, the reason why Trump got voted out last time, because he didn't do a good job while he was in there. People are like, "Oh, this sucks," and they brought someone else in, especially all the Democratic side people and the independents, the swing state people were like, "This, he's not a great president. Let's get him up out of here." But who can we have that could actually beat this guy because it's popular? Trump has like fans. The people who love Trump is the same people who love their football teams. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the same thing. They're a fan of that person. So it doesn't matter what happens. They're a fan of a football. It's like being a fan of the Dallas Cowboys. You know they suck. You complain about them sucking all the time.
But you still root for them.
But you still root for them fools to win. And can't nobody tell you that's not your team. Same shit, bro. Same shit. Just for Trump.
Donald Trump is the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, because it makes sense. It's a shitty team that you can't understand why anybody freaking likes these people, why people love them so fucking much.
But it's America's team.
And then Trump is like, damn, that's a good one. Trump is the Dallas Cowboys, and his fans are like Cowboys fucking fans who every year you see the whole shit go down the tube, and they be standing there really disappointed.
You know what? This term, he's going to get it right.
I know, right?
He's going to take us to the chip this year.
All the things he said, and he's going to ban abortion. He's going to get rid of the illegals, and he's going to fix the economy and all this bullshit. But No, he's not, man. He's going to make his friends freaking richer because he's one of them. I keep forgetting.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one thing, and it's the funny shit that he's not hiding any of this. This motherfucker says whatever he wants. I can't vote to answer your damn question, though. I don't know who they could bring out as of now to beat him. That's why I was like, in 4 years, over this next 4 years, someone's going to have to somehow rise up through the ranks and not be one of the old guards. Got to be somebody new and young to beat him and be sharp.
I don't think there's anybody that could beat him that's young.
We don't know. That's what I'm saying. We don't know. As of right now, there's nobody. I mean, leading up to even Obama coming up,
and then he's got Elon Musk backing him.
It won't
That's
matter,
tough.
Bro. Somebody who's actually credible, they can bring him out. And all they got to do is be smarter and sharper. And when Trump gets up there and says all his bullshit, they'll be smart enough to not get wrapped up in it. That's what happened to Biden. Brought to that last freaking debate when he started arguing this fool about who's a better golfer. We're like, man, get this motherfucker out of here. How you getting played and wrapped up in this argument with this fool like this?
Yeah.
That's what happened, bro.
Listen, Trump's good. Trump's good when it comes to, he's quick on it. He's witty. He's very witty. And he can spin you. He can spin you like
and hit your emotions and get you involved in that shit.
Yeah, he'll bring you down to see. That's the thing. Once he brings you down to his level, he's got you. Because he does his level better than him. You got to stay up here and focus. He bring you down to hell, you're done for. Yeah. And I feel like that's what he was doing with Kamala, because we know who Trump is. To a certain degree. We don't know anything about her, really. We don't know anything personal-wise. She's done all these interviews during this little 90 days. And I still don't know who she is. And I've listened to a lot of the interviews. And I think that was the problem. Like, she should have spoke more about her policies. She should have spoke more about her personal. Because Trump's been in the spotlight for so long that we know Trump. I mean, hell.
She was set up in a bad position, bro. She was arguing what we would consider to be the end game of your campaign without being able to lay that whole foundation of getting to know a person with their policies, talking about everything I voted on in the past, what my history has been like. I saw the shit we usually get. Yeah. Now, where she's at the end game campaigning, trying to say, basically trying to convince us, and a lot of the convincing us was basically saying how terrible the other person was, which you can do if you've gone through a lot of time describing how great or your background or whatever. I don't think, like, I can't say she was set up to fail, because saying someone set up to fail means you did it on purpose. I don't think they did it on purpose, but I just don't think she was in a great position. And a lot of people got excited to have her come in, women in general, and then black women, of course, having someone come in and it all meant and signified something to them. Think about how black people in general felt about Obama coming in to be presidency. Well, this is with Kamala. This is how women in general, and specifically black women, felt. And then after everything went down, they felt betrayed. Like, we got in here, we did all this, and he still won. All y'all didn't show up for us, and we always show up for you. You know, y'all betrayed. Like, I've seen stuff online of black women saying, we're not going to protest no more when a black dude gets killed or something like that. And I think it was just like an emotional response at the time, because, again, they're blaming it on the black men, even though when you look at the poll numbers, we still voted in the 90% range for Kamala, right? So it was like we still showed out. It wasn't like them. They was let
me come to the black man's defense real quick, because there's a lot of black women out there who are still putting their nose up at us, like, we didn't go out there and hold it down. You do realize that black people in general, we're a minority when it comes to the amount of us.
Yeah, it's like 12% of the population, something like that.
So let's just cut that in half. So you think 6% of the blacks was gonna swing the election? We ain't nothing but some seasoning in the recipe. Ain't nothing but a little paprika. That's all black men are.
But this poll show it wasn't. We black men voted. We didn't vote like them. I think they voted like 90. Black women voted 98% Kamala. Yeah. Black men voted, I think it was 90% Kamala. Yeah. But still, that's a lot. That's almost everybody.
90% of us voted. Mm-hmm. What do you think 10% was going to do? Just based off the 12% you said, cutting it in half, 6%, that means we would have swayed it, another 1%?
So yeah, you lost 10% of the men to the straight up sexism, which we figured you got to do that. You got to calculate for something.
Exactly.
Maybe they didn't think it'd be 10 though. Maybe they thought it'd be like 1 or 2% of the men.
I don't know, but
even that 10% might not be straight up sexism. Maybe the ones that straight up sexism was 2 or 3%, and the other men are thinking like, okay, I didn't like her because of this and that. And for me, I was already put off, not specifically on Kamala, but put off by Obama coming out and everybody else already shit talking to black men about y'all gonna make us lose this thing and y'all got to get out here and vote for vote. And we like. It's like you standing in a room doing chilling, and suddenly like somebody call you out like, wait, what, me? What?
Yeah.
I'm in here like everybody else. What you mean?
So what are you saying? You don't agree with Biden when he said if you vote for Trump, you're not black?
That was some bullshit. Because and it's usually men, but there's some women. But there's a lot of like alternative, conservative black men out there, but I think they're like the loud minority. These dudes usually get on YouTube or whatever and make a big ruckus about their opinions or whatever. And your average one walking around, your average black dude walking around is not really like that. And then some of the people in the hood, like most of us feel like, ain't nothing different. Who doesn't matter who's in office.
Yeah.
My wife was saying, Trump says he's gonna bring back stop and frisk. I'm like, these niggas just do they don't stop and frisk us no more. They just do other shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They just do other shit to fuck with us in the hood. So that's what it's like. They feel like the life is shitty no matter who the fuck is in office. Why should I go through the trouble and disrupt my day to go vote? And in this particular thing, and it's not going to make any difference. And people have felt like that for like the longest. And it's hard to convince those kind of people that getting up and getting out to vote for the presidency in particular is actually going to do anything to change their actual lives. And even the thing with the inflation and all that shit, man, it's like, whose fault is it? Really, it's the business's fault. They used the shortages that were actually true to make shortages that weren't true from the fucking pandemic. I mean, for how long were we hearing that everything was more expensive due to supply issues? They're like, supply issues. Every time I walk in here, you got fucking plenty. What you mean supply issues? Mm-hmm. If there was an actual shortage of the things I was buying and I come in here and they're not on the shelves, and then when they are, they're more expensive, that would make sense. Yeah. But the fact that this stuff is still on the shelves in the same amount that it always has been means y'all don't really have a problem with supply now, do you? Or transportation or whatever.
Listen, they just upped the price.
Because they could, bro.
And they're like, you're going to pay it because you need it.
I was on the inside. Again, I used to be a home inspector. I always say that. I was on the inside of that industry for a while. Yeah. And tons of home inspectors just raised their price because everyone else was raising their prices. It's like, well, gas costs me more, and this costs more, and this costs more. Everyone else is charging more.
Market price.
So I'm going to charge more. And that's how everybody started charging more money for everything because everyone else was. So if it's costing me more, then I got to charge you more to maintain the same amount of money. And then people were just... businesses in particular were just raising money because you got to remember businesses' sole purpose is to make money. If they broke even, that was a bad year to them. They need to keep making more and more money. So they'll keep coming up with reasons, which is why your bags of Skittles is half the size they used to be, which is why your big grab bag is mostly full of fucking air. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to sell you less for more money. And and so they can keep making more money. You can only squeeze the lemon so much before they start doing trickery and shit, which is why here in America, our food is this fake ass bullshit ass food from like say McDonald's or whatever. That same company is selling that same food but healthy in another fucking country because that country doesn't play around when it comes to that kind of shit. Yeah. And it's just all money, bro. It's always comes down to fucking money, man. So, but they blame it on the president or the government, saying the government is the ones doing this. Well, this society you guys want is a free market society that they always arguing about. And a free market society, the price is going to go up and down as per demand, and people know how to manipulate supply and demand. I mean, that's why we got houses are so fucking expensive now, because businesses are buying houses and sitting on the houses because it's a better investment than just putting it in a stock market. That's all it is. I can buy a house and let it sit there and maybe spend $100 every couple of months to cut the fucking grass or something, and in a year or two, I made $20,000-$30,000 on that house. Can I put that same amount of money in a stock market without having to do anything and get that much money back? No. And then it also makes me look more liquid because I can count that money that those homes are worth on my books is making me look more money, which means I can get loans, all kinds of shit. That's what these businesses do, man. And that's what it is. But you ignore the businesses and all the shit that they're doing, blame it on the politicians. But they getting their money, they getting their palms and shit greased. They want money too. Like they let fucking congressmen and all that shit who have intimate knowledge of the stock market still be able to do stocks and shit. That just shouldn't fucking happen. Mm-hmm. But you're worried about the cost of fucking eggs.
I'm gonna make a joke. What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Whichever one they could charge more for. There you go.
Oh man. Well, speaking of inflation, inflation, and entertainment. I'm going to the recent Jake Paul Tyson fight.
Oh God.
What? We had two legends in the ring.
You know what? I will give Jake Paul legendary status.
Jake Paul's a legend.
Because his ability to get the bag and hustle and do all this shit is legendary, bro. No one else has been.
Jake Paul has probably already made more than Roy Jones Jr. Who else? Fucking shit. Active boxers. He's probably made more than what's his name?
Gervonta Davis.
No.
Gervonta Davis. Yeah.
Well, yeah, more than him too. But what's the name? The Crawford.
Yeah.
He's probably made more money than Crawford, and these are all legit fighters.
But these are these fights this dude has are entertainment fighters and fights and shit. I heard, is it true that these fools got, like, Jake Paul got 40 million, Mike Tyson got 20 million for this fight?
Yeah, as it's supposed to be.
That's what's up.
Yeah, well, Jake Paul's the draw.
I figure take home. That's why Mike Tyson did it, man. It's enough money to set him up. If he got 20 million. You got to figure he lost close to half to that, or going to lose close to half to that to taxes. Then the fight camp, training the trainers and stuff. He probably going to take home with like $8 million.
Well, you know, they did have the fight in a tax-free state.
Yeah. Well, there's still an income tax.
Right. No state tax. Yeah.
So, like, we'll say, let's just, always try to shoot high.
Yeah.
So maybe 40 to 50% of that in taxes. And then probably a couple of million to the training camp and trainers and shit. Yeah. So I would say he walked home with at least 8 million liquid out of all of this shit. Which at 58 years old, he could sit on his ass and do nothing as long as he's not buying tigers and shit like he used to when he was younger. But he'd be good.
Yeah, I think I don't think he really needed the money. I think he just did it because it was a bag. I'm hopping in the ring with Jake Paul too for 20 million.
Yeah, especially if they agreed not to knock each other out, because they certainly did.
You think so?
Yeah. At minimum, Jake Paul agreed not to knock Mike Tyson out. That would be a bad look for him. It'd be a bad draw. If he becomes too much of a bad guy, people will stop watching.
I think he just pulled back on his own.
Probably both, money and on his own, out of respect for Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I think it.
But think about it. Jake Paul's whole draw is he's kind of a heel, like wrestlers, right?
Yeah.
And a heel can only go so far before he becomes a straight up bad guy nobody likes. We learned that with Hulk Hogan. Remember, Hulk Hogan went too far on his heel shit, motherfuckers, and his money started fucking up because people like really hated him. Jake Paul can't go that low. Knocking out Mike Tyson.
Hogan started calling us niggas. I think that's what. I think that was his. That was his evil.
He went too deep.
That was his final boss form right there.
Jake Paul can't just go in there and viciously knock out Mike Tyson. He would be truly a bad guy. It's like it's like fighting like if he got in there and fought a woman and beat the shit out of her. Like it's a lose-lose situation. He can't let himself get knocked out. But he'll look bad for knocking him out,
I think he handled it perfectly.
Oh, yeah.
He collected $40 million. He raised his status. Tyson collected $20 million. You know, his status ain't going to get no higher than it already is. Tyson is Tyson.
Niggas is clowning them knees for a minute, though. But, the internet going to do what
he's almost 60. I mean,
yeah, he's 58.
He's supposed to look like that.
I think there's a hashtag on Twitter or X or whatever. He's 58.
I think he looks good.
Yeah, he looked good.
I think he looks good.
He's still pretty quick, too.
A lot of people that's trolling and talking shit, I guarantee you they wouldn't hop in the ring with Tyson.
I wouldn't fight him. Mike Tyson fucked my shit up.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, from what I saw last night, he would kill me.
They making fun of him, but them same people making fun of him wouldn't even dare step in the fucking square circle with this guy. I think the only person that came out of this looking bad was Netflix.
I heard the streaming was bad.
You are way too big of a brand to not have prepared for this.
And be raising all your prices all the goddamn time.
How do you have the big, like, think about this. Think of some of the boxers we named, the Crawfords, the Tanks. I mean, these are huge draws. These are guys that are elite in their divisions, in their weight classes. None of them got a Netflix fight deal. You know why? Because Jake Paul and Tyson, those two names on the card, are going to bring more hits, more views. So with you knowing that, which is why you gave them the bag, with you knowing that, why would you not anticipate
that everybody would be on the fucking servers?
This is something that didn't cost us nothing because everybody already shares logins.
They try to block that too.
Yeah, they try, but people, what I'm saying is people already have a login. And the people that had to sign up for it, they probably signed up for a 14-day free trial just to watch the fight. Mm-hmm. So my thing is, nobody had to come out of pocket $60, $80, $100 or whatnot. You know that we was going to be on that server.
So the number of people was going to be up there.
Yes, you know we was going to be on that. It's just like the Super Bowl. You know why the Super Bowl has so many viewers every year? It's not because it's football. It's because it comes on a free channel. It comes on a channel. If you get the rabbit ear antennas, you can watch it. Everybody can watch the Super Bowl. It comes on, what is it, CBS or whatever? That's the only time football really comes on that channel.
They do it's a little bit. They get Thursday night, right?
No. Thursday night is Amazon.
That's right.
Monday's ESPN.
I watched the last game.
You know, some of the shit is Fox. It's paid channels except for the Super Bowl. And that is why it's so many viewers, because it's technically free.
Yep.
And that is what Netflix was. Netflix is technically free because all you needed was a Netflix login to watch. Mm-hmm. It ain't like nobody had to break out their credit card. So I was upset about it. I couldn't believe the amount of. I was like, wait, hold on. Why does this look like I'm trying to get a free stream of a pay-per-view fight? Why is this shit lagging? And it sucked too because it was some good fights. Because I was watching some of the fights before the fights. The girls, Serrano and something else. I'm sorry, I don't remember the names. But that fight, that was a good ass fight. That white girl though, she got chill with them headbutts. Split her whole shit. Had that meat hanging. Looked like she had some tuna up there. That shit was just opened up. But yeah, that shit was nasty. Ugh. But it was some good fights. Mm-hmm. And I like that. I like when there's a good undercard fights. But yeah, I think Netflix came out of this a loser. Like I think they supremely dropped the ball. Because it's like, look, Amazon Prime does this shit, and you've never seen a hiccup. They just had that Kendrick show, and that shit streamed perfectly. It was not one hiccup. Perfect 4K on my screen. Then the Netflix.
Yeah, lots of people have Amazon Prime too, though, so it has to be close to what Netflix has.
Yeah, I'm sure Netflix is higher, like more subscribers, but that's my thing. You know that you have more. Netflix is probably the highest subscribed service.
Probably, yeah.
What are we talking about? If you got 200 million subscribers, at least a quarter of them was watching the fight. So you got 50 million people watching the fight.
But how many times do they ever stream something live? Not often.
They've been doing it a few times, though.
I don't think they have that technology in place, which is, I guess, what you're saying is you should have your fucking technology. You're that much of a brand.
You should have did test runs and all this kind of stuff. They did the Tom Brady roast. They've done a couple of live comedy shows. They did the Joe Rogan. They did the Cat Williams.
Yeah, I did watch.
They did the Chris. They did the Chris Rock, fresh off the getting slapped by Will Smith. That had a lot of views because we wanted to see what he had to say after he got bitch slapped. But yeah, so it's like, how could you not expect this? You signed them up for a reason. But I don't want to spend too much time on that. We could shift into the next topic, which was the thing that we were runners up for. We were almost people's top sexiest man of the year.
We almost number one in my house.
Yeah, we was top 5. Go pick up the issue. You
Bro,
see us on there.
That shit kind of blew my mind. Like I didn't even really know about it till like an hour before this podcast. This nigga told me about that shit. I was like, what?
So do you think the choice was payola?
I don't know enough about all this shit to know if it matters like that. The niggas will be paying for that shit. But I just felt like the choice was interesting. I was like, ain't that nigga from fucking The Office Space? Or Office, The Office? Yeah.
Yeah.
From The Office. So I had to give him the fucking drink.
Yeah.
Like that shit. Like, him? Nigga, what?
But maybe they gave it to him because he put on the L-Dub look.
What the fuck is it? Oh, the beard and shit?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know, bro.
The beard got superpowers.
I'm a straight male. I don't know what I'd have to ask some women. Like, is this nigga handsome? I assume so since he's on fucking TV.
You don't think so? You disagree with people's choice? You don't think he's the sexiest man alive?
I just don't never hear nobody talking about how fine he is.
Well, you know who he is.
Yeah, I know.
And you know how he looks with a beard. Do you think he's sexy?
Your nigga look no, bro. I don't. Your nigga look like Mr. Fantastic.
Who do you think would have been a better sexy choice? What man?
You know who I want to give it to? Our boy who could use a leg up right now.
Whoa.
What?
I don't want to know who you want to give it to. Talking about guys, but anyway, go on.
Nah, I think we should give it to. Damn, forgot his fucking name.
Ain't no we in this.
The nigga from that got canceled because he's wrestling with the white chick in the back of the car.
Jonathan Majors?
Yeah, give it to Jonathan Majors. He needs it right now.
No. Well, he needs it, but he definitely ain't the sexiest man.
Well, you tell me since you're so passionate about it.
Not him. I'll give it to pause. I would vote Damson Idris from Snowfall or something before him.
Okay. I'm just thinking give it to, you gotta be too many, it's too many handsome black men out here for one of us not to get this fucking award.
I give it to Will Smith being in his 50s looking how he does.
I guess. I don't think black people even get a vote in that shit. How does that shit? How is
He's
it voted?
not even the sexiest white man.
But how do you vote on that? Do you know how that works? Who decides that shit? Is it just a magazine?
Maybe they do a poll.
Maybe it's the editors in the magazine. They all get together and be like, yeah, Mike Krasinski. And they fucking, put that shit in there. Or maybe they really like The Quiet Place or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe that's how he got voted.
Or they like them as Mr. Fantastic. And
well, that's Pedro Pascal now.
Yeah, but in the alternate universe where he got fucking whomped by Wanda, he was him. And then what else? He's in some other shit too,
because this is the sacred timeline.
He's in one of them action films, like Jack Reacher type shit. I think.
No, he's not. Is he?
Yeah, yeah, something like that. Yeah. Anyway,
yeah, he's just all behind the scenes at this point. I don't really see him doing too many roles. I see his wife all the time.
What's the internet saying
about him?
Yeah, about
they killing it.
Oh yeah,
they said the internet's you could have chose 100 motherfuckers before him.
Wow.
And they're giving just list of people. They're giving you seen Black Adam, right? The dude that played Hawkman or Hawkeye or whatever.
Yeah.
They're saying him. I guess he got an Alex Cross show or something on Amazon now. They're saying you could have put him, Jonathan Majors, Damson Idris, Will Smith. Could have put I don't know, that's all black people, but
what about the
white people?
The Superman guy?
You could have put Chris Evans,
Henry Cavill.
You could have put Henry Cavill. Hell, you could have put Ryan Reynolds. I think Ryan Reynolds has won it before.
I think he has won it before.
Yeah, because in the beginning of Deadpool, they had the magazine. Hell, you could have put Hugh Jackman coming off of that Wolverine. Shit,
has he? He might have won it before, probably. When he
rightfully
was
so. Is Logan? I mean, should we wait? Yeah, you did. I forced you. You finally watched it. I was about to ask. I'm like, wait, have you seen Deadpool and Wolverine yet?
Yeah, you
basically
I had to sit this
sit
down. Let's watch
sit down, watch this shit. You know how you tell your kids sit in the corner, you can't move. I had to tell this nigga sit down, watch this shit. He's like, fine.
It was actually good.
You see what I'm saying?
It was funny.
Good ass movie. But yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Before we get off this, because I don't think they've addressed who the woman is. Who do you think?
The woman?
Give me your top 3. Top sexiest woman.
Sexiest women?
For this year.
For this year?
Not counting your wife.
Not counting my wife, of course.
You had to, life ref.
Man, you know what? Nothing's really struck me.
Damn, this motherfucker named men with the quickness, and he's struggling to name some women. That's crazy.
I'll name I think what's her name? She's just okay, yeah. I think it's a couple. So I personally think Doja Cat is fine. That's just me.
Okay, that's one. She don't even look like she's your type, but go on.
We should say who's pretty. My type is personalities and all that shit. It's more than just looks, sir. Anyway, I know everybody likes Lotto, but she reminds me of my daughters too much, so I can't do that. But I have a lot of the homies. I've said, "Oh, Lotto, fine," but I'm like, I look at her, I see my daughters, bro, because they little light skinned pretty girls and shit too. I can't do it. Anyway,
I can't. So you threw your daughters in the fold. So I can't even speak on it. I can't even make jokes now.
I think Tyler's pretty. I can't even think of too many, man. I don't really know my people's names like that. Name some people, and if I remember, I'll agree. Maybe some older people. Like I'm trying to name younger people that are current now.
Yeah. No, for sure. I didn't think about it till I just asked you, but I would probably say for me, I would.
Glow is cute. You know, now that she done got, I seen her before all the surgeries and shit. Not surgeries, before the money.
I'm good.
She's kind of funny looking, but she's cute now. I just said she was cute. I
like Lupita.
She's older. She's not like the newer people or whatever. Lupita Nyong'o,
She's
right?
still in her 30s.
Yeah, but she's been around a minute, man.
Damn. Oh, excuse me.
But yeah.
Okay, what about SZA?
No.
You don't think SZA's fine?
No, SZA looks blown up to me.
That's because you like them petite.
I'm talking about her face and everything.
Nah, you like them petite.
She looks.
I'm thinking about, well, I don't like the way that sentence is about to sound, but I was using your wife comparison, and then you mentioned Glow and Tyler. These little petite women.
You might have discovered something.
you like, yeah, it makes sense. That's his type. He likes things that he can manhandle.
Bro, chill.
You like things you can manhandle because you do it with the equipment all the time. He's always manhandling.
With the equipment, nigga. What the fuck? How you saying all this shit not positive? You always talking
not your equipment or my equipment. I'm talking about the studio equipment. You always snapping, breaking shit. He likes the manhandle shit. That makes sense. That makes sense. And look, now I'm telling myself because girls be telling me, "Yo, you like them fat bitches," and you over here telling me SZA's blown up.
But even just her face and facial features, she's had some work done. She looks blown up.
Yeah, she got the BBL and all that stuff done. I thought she was cute before she got that done, but I still think SZA's hella fine. I like Kelly Rowland. I think Kelly Rowland's hella fine, but that's that's older. That's
classic again.
Yes. Yeah, she's getting up there in age now. I guess that's what she classifies like vintage vagina now, like Charlamagne used to say. Let's see, young.
What about Doechii?
Nah, I'm good.
Wow. Okay.
I'm good. Chloe. Halle's sister.
Oh, Hal from Halle and Chloe.
Yeah, Chloe.
Yeah, they're both beautiful.
Chloe.
But you think, but Chloe's the one that's like more sexual or whatever, right?
Chloe.
And Halle is the one.
Chloe's at the top of my list right now. Now that I'm
all
thinking
from
about
that
it.
fucking scene from her getting her cheeks clapped in that show. Huh?
No,
was it?
No.
What was that? That was
the Swarm show that Donald Glover did. No, I just think she's a very beautiful woman. You know, I've seen her live a few times in festivals, but yeah, she's got it. She's got it. She's bad. She's bad.
I'll give you that. Yeah.
Trying to think at least just one more. Young. One more young. That sounds crazy. One more young. But you know what I mean.
Maybe just somebody just recent, if you will. Recent enough. They don't got to be young. They could have been around for the last few years.
I'm going to put some diversity in there. The girl from Entourage. Wow. The girl from Euphoria. Sydney Sweeney. The white girl. The big titty white girl. She was in the Madam Web.
You said big titty white girl. I was like, who? Oh, yeah. Sydney's. Yeah. I mean, I liked the other chick better.
Who?
Her best friend on the show.
The older Latina chick?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck no. Give me Sydney Sweeney and Chloe for 4 hours, and I'll die a happy man.
One top heavy white girl, one bottom heavy black girl. You got everything you want.
I have everything I want. Lord, I'm ready to go home.
Take me
out of here like Kevin Samuels in the act.
Wow.
Speaking of Lord, take me now. It's a good segue into our next one. When are these rappers gonna stop taking themselves out? We already lose rappers to violence. Like we lost recently King Von, Pop Smoke, things of that nature. You know, we lose rappers who's keeping it real. Now they're going to jail for various things. Some old, some young. And then we have the rappers that take themselves out because of drug use. And I hate it because it's always talented ones. We've lost the Mac Millers. We lost the DMXs. We've lost the Juice WRLDs.
Wait, DMX OD? That's how he died? Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And for those of you that are fans of watching streamers, not too long ago, they had Kodak Black on the stream with Kai Cenat. And, you know, growing up in the environment I grew up in,
you know a fiend.
I know a fiend when I see one. And this man, I just shared a few clips with you before we started recording.
This nigga tweaking.
This man was, this man's popping perks and whatnot on camera. Like,
throwing them in the air, catching
you know
his mouth, that's
like,
crazy.
like it's ped sticks. Like it's a little game. I don't know what it is. Like, I understand there's a lot of individuals who need that to function, who need that to make good music. But listen, at this point, hire a ghostwriter if you need to. Quentin Miller can use the work.
Maybe not. We don't know what that nigga doing.
Exactly. He can use the work. He can use the work.
He
like
might already be working.
Oh, he's finally being quiet about it. He's finally being a ghostwriter now.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, a lot of these guys, man, they and it pains me. Like it. Okay, it's one thing to lose a talented individual or just anybody itself. Life is precious. It's sad to lose somebody, like I said, like what I opened up with, to violence. But when somebody self-transitions without meaning to, it's like it feels like a waste. Like, what do you think it is that we can do or say to try and make a difference and get people to put these drugs down? Because let's face it, the era of doing drugs is over for that. The era of doing hard drugs is over for that. The 70s, the 80s, all that, they had the pure. No, they had the pure shit. That's when you could be doing lines and lines of coke all day and it was no problem. Today, all this shit is stepped on. Half the shit you doing got fentanyl in it, and it's gonna just take you out. So what do you? I mean, you're the logical one in this duo. What do you think we can do to make a difference? What can we do to put the gun down like Michael Jackson? Well,
first of all, you gotta stop rapping about this shit like it's cool. When niggas rap about how they be on drugs and they popping perks and all that kind of shit, they do it in a positive light that make it sound like it's cool and it's the thing to do. And as much motherfuckers don't want to admit, what's in the music definitely influences people's behavior. We know that shit. So, and then not only worse, you got some of the worst offenders of this don't even do drugs. So they know that these drugs is bad and don't do them, but rap about it because it's popular and that influences you people.
Tell me you're talking about Future without telling me you're talking about Future.
So I think first we can, in the music and stuff, we can start there and stop glorifying drug use and all that kind of shit, right?
Okay.
I think that'll take out a lot of it for at least your regular influenceable normies and shit. We'll stop doing a lot of the drugs. For us, when you talk to people, it's more like like straw on a camel's back. You got to keep throwing a bunch of it on before it does something.
Yeah.
But they got to get to the point to where they want to change. They see the damage and want to change themselves because you can never convince somebody to do it. I mean, we've seen it when we used to watch that One Intervention show. People have been intervened a bunch of times and they still wind up going back. Then a lot of these rappers and shit think they need it for inspiration, even though after seeing Kodak Black, like he was saying some fucking nonsense. I don't know how any of that could make a song or whatever, but you don't know. I think that's probably the closest thing we can really do. Outside of that, a lot of the drugs that people are doing now are now made and manufactured here. It used to be like everyone's shipping in coke, shipping in weed or whatever. But now this fentanyl and all this Molly and all this other shit motherfuckers do, they be cooking that shit up here. So it ain't even got to be moved in. And it's all money. So something that's making money, there's big main people, whether it's real businesses or mafia type motherfuckers, is making a lot of money on this shit, man. It's going to be hard to come up with something that stops people from making their money. Because remember, we was coming up, we had all that dare and say no to drugs and all that kind of shit. I saw this fucking meme. Somebody said, like, we grew up and our music we listened to was about being a drug dealer. And now y'all music you listen to is about being a drug user. Mm-hmm. So maybe the next generation will be the people of the children of those drug people that's on drugs, and will tell people to stop fucking doing this shit because it fucking can ruin your fucking life.
Yeah.
But it's probably burying most of the time some sort of like, I don't know, deep emotional hurt or some shit, and you're doing that shit to get over it. We don't know what these people is going to, especially somebody like Kodak Black or whatever. But most of the time, people say they do drugs as some sort of escape. The hard drugs, anyway. Like some shit, like people smoke weed, they don't do that shit. Some of them do, but a lot of it's just to relax. You know what I'm saying? I've been known to hit it a couple times just so I can sleep better. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with all the other kind of shit. So
I sleep better too when I hit it.
What you talking about?
Same thing you talking about.
No,
I think you stumbled on a good point without even realizing you did when you were talking about a lot of people do drugs because that's their coping mechanism. They have nobody to reach out to. So, a lot of these people that are killing themselves, sans Mac Miller, are black people. What can we do as a community to make other black men feel comfortable to open up?
I think we're kind of getting there now. So we having these conversations and stuff all the time where black men are wanting to open it up and talk to each other and commune with each other much more. So I think we're kind of moving in that direction. And that's the thing. Like most men they're kind of supposed to suffer in silence and figure that shit out on your own for fear that, other men are going to tell you to stop being a pussy and suck it up. And what we're seeing is we're not seeing that anymore. If you got a friend that come to you with a problem, a good friend, most of the time they are like, actually listening to you and even just letting you vent and maybe not trying to supply you and fix your issues or whatever, but at least giving you somebody to talk to or whatever. And we're seeing a lot more of that. And hopefully if that keeps rolling and keeps going, because I think one of the big things that's happening right now, which is why part of the reason why we see so much back and forth between men and women is both sides are trying to figure out like what it means to be what they are. Like, what does it mean to be a man now? You know what I'm saying? It's changed. It's changed from what it was, but we don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? And like, what do the women want? If we only listen to what the women say, it's like complete opposites. One woman will be like, how come men don't walk up and talk to me anymore? And the other woman will be like, leave me alone. Why would you walk up and talk to me when you see I don't want to be talked to? We don't know. Like, we hear them both. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's everyone's trying to figure out what the new norm is and the new interaction between men and women. And for us, we're over here just trying to figure out how to get our emotions and shit straight. Because if women want us to be more emotionally available, we can't practice that with them. We gotta do that shit amongst ourselves and with our mentors and fathers and uncles and cousins and friends, and know how to handle that shit. Because they always say like women are more emotional and men aren't. I think men and women are equally emotional. It's just the way we go about handling those emotions is vastly different, and what emotions we act upon are different. Women are definitely they usually have an automatic support system because, women will always, be there for each other and be support and be in this little group. A woman is, let's say, for instance, a woman could be in a bad relationship, but she'll have a whole bunch of homegirls she's having this conversations with about what sucks and what's good and what can I do and all this other kind of shit. Dude will be in a bad relationship where he's not getting anything he needs and that whole thing sucks. He's not telling anybody about it.
No, because he looks like less of a man and for fear of being trolled or clowned.
Definitely not in the public. So you could say something maybe with your friends. You could say, I'm not feeling, fulfilled, or I'm not feeling,
even then,
whatever the fuck.
Even then, because like you said, the era we grew up, I mean, it's changing. It's getting more progressive now. But the era we grew up in, depending on who you talk to, if you was talking about how your relationship was bad or she did this or whatever, niggas' response would be like, couldn't be me.
Yep, I'd have been left that bitch.
I've been left that bitch. Like, damn, you let her treat you like that? That's crazy. Like, she had that whole dick in her mouth, and you still with her? That's never.
That is crazy.
Yeah, you a bitch ass nigga. You putting up with that? Like, that's the kind of shit that niggas be saying.
Yeah, motherfuckers will be embarrassed about shit like that. I was talking. I seen some shit playing out on Facebook with some friends, and they're going through divorce and breakup, and the wife is admitting publicly multiple times that she cheated on him, but she probably thinks she's being forthcoming about her sins or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But really, she's embarrassing that man, because even if he wanted to come back and make up with you, you even told everybody everything, and now he's going to be forced with, okay, am I going to be able to swallow my pride and face other men when you know what happened in my relationship and I'm still here in it? And that's another one of the things that happen. We all seen where women will be with a guy that everyone knows has cheated on them multiple times, but you don't really see that the other way around.
Gotcha.
They're definitely not going to be out there like admitting it. And I don't know if that'll ever get that progressive. You know what I'm saying? But you definitely at least be able to have that conversation with your friends about this is what's happening. These are the things we've overcome, and this is where we at.
You know what? Before it leaves my mind, you just made me think of something that happened a little while back. I don't remember the guy's name, but it's this guy like in another country, and for like a week straight, this guy was getting flack from the internet because he was having sexual relations with all these different wives, girls in other relationships. I mean, his cousins, his sisters-in-law. Like, supposedly this dude has like about 400 sex tapes with all these women, all these different women who have other men.
Was it in Africa?
One of them countries.
Okay, I think I heard about this.
With the guy with the glasses?
Yeah.
I thought this was funny to bring to the table because you're a married man, right?
Here we go.
you always got to use you as the example. How are you handling a situation like that where you're just living your everyday life and then all of a sudden you realize your brother-in-law is sleeping with your wife, or your wife is sleeping with this this prime minister, or whatever the case may be, like, and it's all over the internet now.
Well,
like,
that's the key right there.
That's the So now, your wife is in this ring of circle eternally, because once it's on the internet, she's just eternal. This is forever.
They put all the videos on the internet?
I went down a rabbit hole. I watched about 20 sex tapes for like an hour on Twitter.
And dude was clapping cheeks on all these chicks?
Bro, clapping cheeks. They was sucking them up. He was skeeting in their face. And they all looking at the camera. So it ain't like it's not a hidden camera. Like, they are knowingly active in this behavior. And I'm just looking.
That dude must be a pimp.
I seen people, they was like, City Boys is up. But yeah, that's one of those things where it's like, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So how would you handle something like that? Because that's a little bit of a side quest of what we were talking about. But me, because you're in a more locked down situation than me. You're married with kids. What like, how does the next family reunion go? Where everybody's like, yeah, you seen Golden Lion's wife, you
don't go.
She was. Oh, that's it.
You don't go.
No more family reunions.
What's the family reunion is on one side or the other? You gonna go to her family reunion? If it's yours, you gonna show up.
Well, I guess the relatable part of this conversation would be like, when I say what do you do? Like, I know you're mad. You probably want to go fight him, but I mean, what's the point? Ain't no real point in that. I guess, how do you cope with that? Because I would feel like you would need some serious counseling after something like that.
Well, so I think part of it is the public embarrassment. It'd probably be too much for 99% of people to deal with. It's one thing if you find out your partner's having an affair and you've dealt with you privately between the two of you, but when something's like out in the open, it's tapes. Like, we've even seen it with women. Women will be with like, they make a big deal out of it and they break up with their husband, some superstar. Then you find out during the breakup he's actually cheated a gang of times.
Yeah.
But the reason why this one is bad, because he embarrassed her and it's out in the open. So now she's like, I got to keep my self-respect and I'm leaving this relationship. And that's the same kind of thing here. I think most men with this kind of embarrassment And not only that, and your chick was just one of many that he was smashing down, makes it like even worse. I think that actually makes it worse.
You would get a divorce?
In this instance, if my wife was caught on tape having sex with a dude and she's one of many and it's all over the internet, yes.
There's nothing to talk about. Can't work through it.
Nope, my pride won't let me. I have to live with myself at the end of the day. And how can you, if you're with somebody, but you're like hate yourself, mad at yourself for for accepting this? Like, there's a lot of internal turmoil and shit that can go on with something like that. I don't think you can deal with that shit. And it's public is probably the main thing.
Yeah, because a lot of them women was bad. You know, I gotta walk on thin ice here. What I'm gonna say, and you know, your wife's not ugly, so I would imagine with so many people seeing that video, when you go out now, like I'm sure date night looks different.
It could be that.
What happens? You go to the movies now. You go to the movies, and the guy at the concession like, is that? You see what I'm saying? Like little shit like that.
Or they don't say, they just
look. You know, because
go talk to somebody on point.
Yeah. You know, because
that shit happen where you got to deal like that could possibly definitely happen, right? But that's what it is. It's the public embarrassment of the whole thing. It's all on tape. There's mad other people. Everybody knows. It's just like your pride and your self.
So you're just 100%. If you're caught up in that situation, you have to remove yourself. There's no working it out. Forget about been holding me down 20, 30 years. Like that right there, you just can't do it.
I would expect the same. Like, what if I was the man who has myself on tape fucking a bunch of girls and then it hits the internet and my wife then sees this? I would expect the same. Like, whoa, like you, not only was you doing all this, you know what I'm saying, but you was taping it and then it got on the internet. Now everybody sees, everybody knows. Can't do it.
I feel like in that instance, there's women that would stay.
In that instance you're talking about, maybe. And there's probably some men that would stay the opposite of all those women that are getting clapped that are all in relationships. Yeah. A couple of their men probably stayed. You know what I'm saying?
I think all the boyfriend girlfriend relationships was over.
Oh yeah, but even the married ones, there's a chance.
But then what about because like I said, some of the women he slept with was like sister-in-laws, cousins. Like, what does that do to the family?
It fucks the family up. Yep.
Because the family, I would imagine, is curtains at this point. Because it's like your own brother is he's looking at his wife like, you fuck my brother.
So when you go to a family function, now that the wife, the third party,
you know what I'm saying,
out of it,
and then I'm sure your brother's wife is looking at the cousin like, you fuck this nigga too,
bro. It'd be like The Godfather. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you know when I'm going to go see mom. You make sure you're not fucking there. if you there, remember when that shit happened with fucking Fredo, and he was like, "I'm only not fucking killing you because our mother is still alive." That was from Godfather too, and he's you're gonna make an appointment, and when you're there, I'm gonna let you go see mom, and I'll see mom. We make sure we don't see each other. But if I catch you, if I see you in the streets or anything like that, it's on. And as soon as I think within 24 hours of the mom dying, he clapped that nigga, or he had somebody else clap him in the boat. Remember that shit?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've only seen the movie once, so it's shaky.
The brother and one of the hitmen was fishing out in the boat, and the dude shot his ass in the boat and started rowing back. And that was like within 24 hours of the mother dying, because the brother had betrayed the family, making the deal with somebody else.
And I was on the boat. He died.
It was like a little dinghy boat out of the lake.
Who was the one that died going through the border, the toll passing or whatever?
That was a brother, the older brother.
Oh, okay.
The hothead older brother.
Okay.
He got trapped because their sister was married to some dude that was beating her, and he was beating her up. So he was like, "Fuck that, I'm gonna handle this myself." But it was a setup.
Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, I guess I.
But yeah, that's what I would do. My brother, I'd be telling my brother, "Look, you can go see your mom, or we go. If we can't be at no family functions together at the same time, or it's on site. I can't kill him. He is my brother. You know, you only kill your brother in a fit of rage at the time. It's like you walked in on it and you smoked that nigga maybe. But like if it's all over and said and done and it's on video or whatever, you just be like, I'll never speak to you and never see you again. But if we do happen to run into each other, it's on. Don't even think we finna have a conversation.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be that way? You'll be like, I'm not gonna erase you off this planet, But I better not never fucking ever see you again. Ever. If I ever see you, it's on.
Yeah, mine is a little more sensitive for me because I have a history of certain things that's happened in my past.
Yeah, but you're not gonna kill that nigga. That's what I'm saying.
Nah. We just gotta go outside and square up.
Yeah, we gotta shoot you gotta fight me once over this.
Yeah, we gotta shoot the fed.
And then after that, every time I see you,
we gotta shoot the fed. Yeah. I mean,
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you could be like, nah, nigga, we gotta square up one time for this.
Yeah. I mean, that's essentially what I did. we had to go out in those streets and fight.
You fucked that nigga?
I tried to.
What you mean you tried to?
I mean, he ain't whip my ass. He ain't fight back. So it was one of those fights where I'm like, I ain't gonna just beat him up. Like, it was one of those fight back. Yeah, nice. I ain't fighting you. I'm like, nice and then it's like guilt tripping me. It's like, he ain't gonna fight back when it's like, I ain't gonna hurt you. Like, I want this nigga to swing and hit me to the point where it hurts. Then you can bust the lip, like, like.
You still wanted to hurt him, so might as well
but the nice guy in me, it's like, I can't. It's like with anybody. If it was you, anybody. If I'm like trying to beat your ass and you like, I'm not gonna fight you. Like I can't do it at that point.
You better than me. Depends on what we fighting for. If it's something like that, I'll be like, well, you should fight back to keep yourself from getting hurt worse.
Yeah.
But if you're not going to, I'm still gonna.
Now that I think about it, I've been in two similar situations like that. One was my best friend and one was my brother. And I tried to fight both of them niggas and they both didn't want to fight me. See what being 6'4" is? Niggas don't want to fight back.
You should have hit him with
if I'd have been 5'1", them niggas would have been like, come here, little nigga.
I mean, you should have fought him anyway. Maybe not fight him. You just, get some good blows to satisfy your anger.
I mean, I got a couple of hits in on my brother.
Okay.
It was drunken rage. My best friend, I didn't fight him because I was sober.
Was this in Cali with your brother? Was it around that time?
Yeah, it was in Cali.
Okay.
And then my best friend at the time.
Well, did we try to fuck your girl that one?
You said try?
Oh, he did.
Basically, he tried to fuck my girl at the time and fucked my childhood girlfriend that I was trying to get with. So yeah, I tore his place apart. The expression flipping tables. Yeah, I did all that shit. Flipping desks. Broke his TV, flipped PlayStations. I was doing everything in my power to try and get this nigga to swing on me. And he just stood there. I was just like...
That's because he felt like he deserved it. So he was like, I deserve
it. And he was bigger than me.
You be still do some fuck shit. Niggas know when they do fuck shit.
Nah, nigga.
What kind of nigga fuck your girl and then beat you up?
I don't care, bro. You know how I am. Well, you probably just like me with electronics. I don't care, respectfully. If I slept with your wife or slept with your daughter or something like that, I might not try and swing at you, like when you come in my face. Pause. Whoa. when you approach me, However, if you start tearing my electronics and stuff up, I can't stand for that. You know what I'm saying? Like you swinging me with it, I might let you get a couple hits because I did some fucked up shit.
That's what I'm saying.
But if you start tearing my place up and fucking up my electronics, like that's my triggering point.
Yeah, I'm saying, but this other person probably don't give a shit about it, stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying he knew he did some fuck shit, which is why he wasn't.
Yeah.
Niggas know when they do fuck shit, bro. They know.
Yeah, but getting kind of tight thinking about it.
I know. What else we got on here? We did that. What's that saying? Yellow.
The Penguin. I was going to just, but you ain't really seen it.
I haven't. I'm gonna watch it though. Now that
so everybody's talking about the Penguin, right? I'm not going to do no spoilers or anything, but everybody's basically saying it's like it's a cross between a comic book movie meets The Sopranos, basically.
Okay, that sounds
good. So it's definitely like a mafia type of feel to it because it's the Penguin, and if you're familiar with the Penguin, he's a street mob boss, So.
They just make him kind of clowny in the cartoons, but that's what he's supposed to be.
Yeah, but he's very, very dark in this show, and it's very good writing, very good acting. You know what I like about the Penguin? This new iteration of him? I like that it's Colin Farrell or whatever, but the acting and the makeup is so good. I don't see Colin Farrell. I see the fucking Penguin.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of it. When you said it's Colin Farrell, I was like, oh shit, it is.
And this Penguin, he's not like the typical Batman animated series Penguin or Batman Forever Penguin. Clearly, he ain't a little short like was Danny DeVito or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, with the fucking the 3-finger gloves and all that bullshit. But this Penguin, like, I know DC gave the reins to James Gunn, but what Matt Reeves is doing with this Batman universe, I like it. Like, this is like the real Dark Knight universe.
I did like the movie.
Because that's another thing. Like, the Batman movie, the one with Robert Pattinson, it reminds me, I haven't played it in a while, but it reminds me of those Batman, those Arkham games. How it was just very dark, where the bad guys feared Batman, you know, and it was very grounded and realistic.
That's pretty brutal.
You know, like it gives me that vibe, and that's what I've always liked about Batman. Because even though it was a superhero movie, when you go into a Batman movie, you think to yourself, well, shit, if I had $1 billion and all these gadgets, I could be Batman. That's what I like about it. You know, I go learn some martial arts, put on a suit, put on a bulletproof suit, and I can go fly around and be fucking Batman. Like, it was a superhero that you could actually be.
Maybe in New York, not in Dallas, nigga. You'd have to be like downtown.
I mean,
it's flat out here.
Yeah, I mean, well, what you gonna do out here? How you gonna protect anybody? You gonna be in the fucking Batmobile in traffic out here? Can't even go nowhere. You try to get away. You try to get away from the cops. They're gonna catch your ass on the freeway.
Fly, nigga. Yeah.
You gotta be in the Batwing the entire time out here in fucking Texas. Batman be like, man, fuck them.
I know,
hey, Batman go outside to see that traffic and be like, man, I ain't fighting crime tonight.
Hey, there was one of the Batman where dude in the Batmobile was like knocking niggas' cars over so you can get through traffic. Like the cars was like flipping as he was going through that shit. Guess you could do something like that.
Which Batman was that?
I don't remember, man. There's a lot of Batmans.
Oh.
I think it was a classic Batman car that was doing that shit.
Yeah, we'd have to stay on this side of town because, I mean, Gotham right down the street, Deep Ellum.
Basically.
But yeah, do you have anything that you wanted to add current event wise?
Current event, anything we got going on? Yeah, you can then check out my gaming channel, L Double.
So you got a new channel?
That's old. It's just gaming.
Huh?
You didn't know about that one?
Not the Golden Lion one.
No. It's a gaming channel where I do videos on like gaming.
Oh, this fucking guy.
Before you knew about that shit.
No, I ain't know about that shit.
Oh. Anyway,
so what are you talking about there? Just reviewing
like
games,
retro handhelds and shit like that, and games. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Would you like
talked about the new PS5 coming out?
Oh, okay,
I just go on there and give my opinion about it. You know, no one gives a damn. But
so you don't like reviews and stuff?
I've done like a review on like 4 things, like a retro handheld, the PlayStation Portal, some other shit. Like it's all shit that I actually own. So I'm not like going out buying shit and fucking. Actually, that's not true. I bought this little Backbone thing. I did like made 2 videos off it. Returned that shit on Amazon.
What Jay-Z said. Still nigga.
Yeah, actually, like the Golden Lion channel, I don't really post too much because I don't know, man. Talking about the things I would want to talk about on there, I'd rather just talk about it here with someone else. So like, I made a couple of videos recently only because I promised somebody I will post on the channel because they have been dormant for like 6 months.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I still haven't watched it yet, but the last video you did seemed like it got some traction.
Yeah, the last 2 I did, one got like 700, one got like 600 or something. But
yeah,
so what, bro? Like again, I don't really have much. I don't want to go on there. The reason why I don't is because I feel like I'm going on there kind of pontificating and giving my opinion, and it's much easier to do when it's the niggas just sitting there talking our bullshit or whatever.
Right.
But because I'm talking to a person, but you got to realize when you're on that kind of shit, you're talking to a camera. There's nobody there.
Nobody there to challenge you or any kind of feedback.
And I feel like I'm just like talking into the void and just like pontificating and giving my opinion and shit as if I know better or something.
Maybe
like
you
that.
should just look into streaming. Because then you can at least talk to the chat. The chat could be writing to you, right? Technically.
But like that's why I made the gaming channel, because I like games and talking about games. I can do that, and it's not like everyone gives their opinion on what they liked about a game or something like that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Or what do you have this little handheld and what's cool and what's good about it, because somebody else might want to see it and be like, I'm thinking of buying that too type shit.
Yeah.
And that has been much easier for me to make, because I can just, it's like, I can just sit here and just go off on a tangent about some tech, you know what I'm saying? And I can do that.
You talking about the gaming channel, just it unearthed an old memory of mine. You remember when I used to be like heavy into making message boards and forums?
Oh yeah, hell yeah!
Remember when I had the little video game one where it was like console ISO or some shit?
Yes.
We would be talking about games and sometimes, showing links to, game information.
Remember IGW, International Gaming World?
Yeah, International Gaming World. Then you linked it into the mod chips and all that. That's an old memory I forgot about.
But them forums used to pop all the time. I always wondered how the fuck you got so many people to come to the forums.
Yeah, it was some good times.
Didn't you have like a rap forum once? What was that shit called?
Yeah, Rapper's Delight.
Rapper's Delight, yeah.
Yeah. That shit right there had the potential to be something crazy, but I just didn't know what I had at the time and fumbled that.
Yeah, you could have rolled that in the middle, like one of them online, like how Rap Radar and all that kind of shit is now.
Rapper's Delight could have basically been Smack, but far greater.
Yeah,
it had that potential.
It had like text battles.
Had that potential to be Smack, but far greater. But I didn't realize the power that I had right
there. And people uploaded audio battles against each other.
We had text battles, audio battles, poetry battles, and then sometimes we had general discussions, just going in there and just shooting the shit.
Yeah, that was big.
It's just big. Yeah. Like I didn't know what I had at the time.
But it was new and fresh. You wouldn't even know where to go with it. Like now, it's kind of some things have been done, so you got some ideas on where you want to go. That shit we're talking like fucking 2002 or some shit here. Mm-hmm. This is like it's earlier internet type shit, bro.
I mean, shit was like almost 25 years ago. Yeah, it's a long ass time ago, bro.
If somehow kept up with it and turned it into something it could be, but we wouldn't even know what that would have been. You know what I'm saying?
It would have probably grown to become something like a Facebook, in a sense of a community of MCs and rappers and people posting and talking and stuff like that. And it would have been like an app maybe or something like that. And it would have probably been like how Versus was. It would have probably grew to something like that eventually. Because I'm pretty sure had it grown to a certain point, we would have got involved with like labels and probably known rappers. And then it would have been kind of like how, how wrestling has the Raw wrestlers and then it's got the SmackDown wrestlers. It would have been, you got the pros and you got the minors. It would have grew into something like that, in another universe.
I will.
What
about your sports thing? I haven't seen you do that recently.
I put a pause to that because I'm getting ready, like we spoke, I'm about to be making some changes. And me, I like my look and everything to just be consistent. And during this break, I realized that how I want to do it now, finally, because I've been going back and forth trying different things. I'm just going to do it. It's going to be an everyday thing, and it's going to be first thing in the morning. It's going to be one of those, I'm going to give my insight for that day. I'm going to talk about what happened yesterday, and it's just going to be a daily thing. And the reason I'm going to do it that way is because what I was trying to do, like, for example, on the site, I would be, giving some pics and stuff like that. The problem was this. In sports, the shit is so shady where sometimes you don't know who's playing until like 30 minutes before the damn game starts.
True.
So it's like, how can I speak on something before, because sometimes I give out something, and then by the time the game started, that person not even playing.
Yep.
Like, look at the 76ers.
Yep.
Fucking Joel Embiid done played like, 2 games out of like 10.
And everyone was excited that he was coming back and shit.
Yeah. So I'm going to go about it in a way where I'm going to give insight and some recommendations on certain players and certain action. And it's going to be based on whatever that number or whatever that is in that morning. If something changes in the afternoon, sorry. but it's going to be based off of whatever that was in the morning. And the reason I'm going to do it in the morning is because, you know, life be lifing. Trying to do it, because what I was trying to do is I was trying to get it to the point where I do it right before the game start. But sometimes I'm doing stuff in my everyday life where I'm not home in time to do that. So it's like now I missed it. So I feel like the morning is the best because I'm up every day, 4 or 5 in the morning. That gives me time to make a quick little 10-minute video, do my research, upload it. Now I can start my day, go to the gym or whatever, and I don't have to worry about it till the next morning. So that's the route I'm going to go with it. But once again, we go back to, you know me, I'm very fucking picky when it comes to the look.
Picky.
I like everything to just be uniform. Like, even if I'm not in the same spot when I'm recording, I want it to look like I'm in the same spot when I'm recording. So, yeah, so that's that with that. Yeah, but I don't really have anything else.
No, me neither.
Listen, man, appreciate you guys. I truly do. We haven't really been as active with this podcast as we need to be. We definitely need to get some social media helpers. We definitely need to get a more uniform schedule. As of right now, what I've been doing, because of, like I said, life be lifing, I've been shifting us to where going forward we're going to be dropping on Mondays, because with me doing the bulk of the editing and working like 6 days a week, Sunday's my only off day now. So it's just an easier day for me to be able to commit to being able to get something out on time, because I wasn't doing my fair share of making sure that you guys were getting your stuff on time. Because I know me, I'm a big podcast listener, and I would be pissed with the podcast that I listen to, and it's supposed to be out a certain day, and then I go like, "Where this shit at?"
Yeah, I don't.
What you mean? What you mean? I'll take the week off. What you mean it's gonna be late? Like, you fucking up my routine. So as far as routine goes, I'm gonna commit to Mondays. So enjoy your weekend. And when the weekend is over, Monday, check us out. And as like I always say, like, share, subscribe, and comment. This is Verbal Gunplay, and we out.
All right.